out in the future. Yes. Yes. Sorry, there's something sinking in the chair. Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. It's good to be back on Wednesdays. Hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. Those of you who are online, hello. And well, people are here, hello. And those of you watching on YouTube at a later date. I am Jamie. I am the CVO here, and I'm just here representing the leadership team. And we want to bring you a big day today. And first of all, I want everyone to close their eyes. I want you to imagine being an 8-year-old child, and you get to go to Grandma Mary Steer's house. Mary's going to be a grandma. I want to so live vicariously through that young person. Gosh, that'd be great. So,
That's a pretty cool club to be in.
yeah, and thank you to all the grandmas. Thank you to all the grandmas. Just so as we get started here, we have what's called the Y4C2Ts. This is the belief system that Keller Williams came up with. It came up with, actually their first ALC came up with this, and we all need to have our established belief system so we know how to guide ourselves on a daily basis. So we believe in win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing, customers always come first, commitment in all things, communication, seek first to understand, creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more, trust starts with honesty, equity was added in 2021, opportunities for all, and success, results through people. And speaking of people that are having results, let's give it a round of applause for Anna Thompson. So, we have a couple plays of the week to get caught up on because, again, we had a great Thanksgiving week. I hope you all did too. It was interesting for me. My family used me. I had a surgery last week, and they brought me to Chicago, and I felt like Weekend at Bernie's, and I was Bernie. They put me in the back of the car, and then propped me up for pictures, and then put me back in the car, and we came home. And crazy thing is, I loved it. But Anna, I mean, what can you say about Anna? But the couple big things. This year, she took a big step forward and bought her first investment property. That helps build generational wealth, just in time for her to have her first child coming in March. So that's exciting. She's also a recent graduate from Bold and has been our Spirit Award winner recently. And Jenny, our awesome transaction coordinator, is just super excited to nominate her from the aspect of that she's just so great with her attention to detail and how she can communicate clearly and bluntly, yet in so many diverse ways with people. And she also teaches us a lot of cool lingo that I've never learned before. That's awesome. It makes
Oh no, Jamie, it's lit.
We all need a young person.
Oh yeah, it's lit. Speaking of lit, hello. How you doing? And let's give it up for Clint Abel. Clint is a newer agent on the Integrity Home Group team, and I think he started what, February? He and his family were able to donate 40 bags of food to the Community Helping Hand up where he lives in Forest Lake. I don't know who would live that far up. And he served over 20 years with the Men and Women in Blue. And he's done so much, I gotta keep reading here. He's organized a partnership with Invisible Wounds Project, and that helps includes mental health resources for vets and first responders across Minnesota. So let's give it up for them both again. Each week it blows my mind when I get to learn more about y'all, and it's just so important that you guys get to know the quality of the people that are around you, because of course that raises the tide for everybody. And of course it's awesome when I get to brag about these folks, because I think the last impressions were like 2,500 for Clint's from my post tagging him. So for you guys to see that, have your clients and sphere see that is very important. So thank you for that, and thank you for being people that that we're really proud to be with. And if you know anybody who you would like to nominate as Play of the Week, let me know, please. And broker update.
The question of the month, is she a good witch? Or is she a bad witch?
Depends on the day. But does she want to be?
Every day's a little different.
How about a sandwich?
I might be a sandwich too, yes. If you have been paying attention to my office or my posts online, I do an annual contest every December to be social and shake it up. But my real motivation is to make sure that agents at KWPR fully understand that there are 17 code of ethics that we adhere to as realtors and how important they are. So just to make sure you understand how the contest works. Starting on Monday, every day, I post a question. If you aren't on Facebook or you haven't seen it on Facebook, you can come right to my office, because then those people who answer, it doesn't matter if you answer it correctly or not, I put your name in a drawing and I pull out one name of which that person, that recipient then can come into my office, they can look at my selection. It ranges from hot tea to hot cocoa to maybe some beer and wine and some fun spirits. And then we sit down at my table and just spend some quality time together. I care about you guys all a lot. I care about your ethics, and life is busy. We just don't have time to do enough of this. So this is my chance in December to be social and educational with you, and I would like to make sure that you participate. So all of you today are going to be asked this question, and you don't have to answer now, but I encourage you to get out your phones, search up the Realtor Association Code of Ethics. And Article 1 has 16 sub-articles that cover a lot of ground, from general honesty to disclosing dual agency to the obligation to present all offers. So can you list at least one of them? So take a minute on your phone and take a look at it and just be prepared to chime in on Facebook. So on to the next slide. Now I might have to put my bad witch hat on, because as we know, as licensed realtors, we are not experts when it comes to giving legal advice, giving accounting advice. So I am not going to be your go-to person on this. I'm just merely up here with Karina to make sure that you have awareness to this. Oh shoot, I meant to delete that. I just slipped that over. Sorry, you can ignore this portion.
Don't notice the notice.
This will be in your Friday email. Sorry that I didn't delete it. Actually, I updated this in my office and it looks like it didn't even update the layout. But anyway, according to the federal government, only 22% of small businesses have filed their BOI, or also referred to as BOE report. And what's important for you guys to know about this is, if you operate your real estate or a rental property, have a rental property as a corporation or an LLC, this brand new federal reporting requirement very likely applies to you. There's about 23 exceptions. I had said very few, but there are 23 exceptions. And most accounting firms and law firms are not necessarily taking this on. This is something that you have to do on your own. Karina.
It's really simple.
Yes, it's, as Krista was saying, it is very simple. It takes about 10-15 minutes. You'll need your EIN number, as well as a copy of your driver's license to be able to upload that information in there. Your tax preparers, accountants, attorneys cannot do this for you. This has to be done by the business owner or the person authorized by the business to be able to do such a thing. So if you have a partner or whatnot and you're on there as an authorized individual, you can do that, but your tax preparers, accountants, and things like that cannot do that. The fines for this are hefty. $500 per day, up to $10,000, or up to 2 years in jail. So the premise behind doing this is to help avoid money laundering and be able to find a easier recourse to be able to find and eliminate as much money laundering as they can. So just make sure you get that done by the end of the year. Again, it takes 10-15 minutes to do. There's the link in there, and I believe I also sent out an email just yesterday that has that information in there. Just go in there, take a look at that, get the information filled out, and then you're done and don't have to worry about fines. It's $500 a day.
I was fortunate with fellow brokers at SPAR to be able to attend a webinar on this. And it sounds like the origin of it, the purpose of it, is there are a lot of foreign individuals who own US businesses, and their causing problems. They're avoiding taxes. And so in 2019, this, I think I wrote it in here, this act was put into place.
Federal Corporate Transparency.
Thank you. And it was created by the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network under the Federal Corporate Transparency Act. And they do have a really good website, and you guys have received a few emails, like from Chamber of Commerce, from the Minnesota Association of Realtors. The St. Paul Area Association of Realtors introduced us to a business that you can hire that will do this for you, and then they will do it annually for you. So I'll be putting that out there on Facebook and also in the Friday email. If you just think like, gosh, I don't want to have to handle even the 10 or 15 minutes, there are resources for you, and we will be sharing those resources. If you are particularly interested, does this actually apply to me? NAR is doing a webinar on Tuesday, next Tuesday, from 1 until 2 p.m. It's on Zoom and it is for free, and I'll send a link out to that company that Spar referred us to. But take this also as an opportunity to call every single person that you know who owns a rental property or who you've ever sold an investment property to, because if they have an LLC for those, they also have to do this. And we don't want to see any of them in jail for 2 years or paying $500 a day as a fine.
It's a good opportunity to call some of your investor clients, not just investor clients, but other clients that have LLCs, painting, staging, any of those. And be like, hey, just an FYI, did you do this yet?
Is this new this year?
Yes,
Yep.
it is brand new this year. Though the act went into place, it sounds like in 2019. This is the year of enforcement.
For those investors, is there a charge
No.
financially to
There's no charge.
file? Or
There's no charge to file. No.
And I don't believe this is something you have to do annually. Once you file, you only have to update it if there's a change, like to your address or anything like that.
Okay, good. And none of us are experts. I heard a little bit different, so next year we'll cross that path too, but I appreciate that feedback. You likely, my accountant friend, do know.
Tom is right.
Tom is often right. Yes. Any other questions? All right.
I did get one text. Someone asked if one of the answers 12 brokers to leap in.
Yes.
Okay, good. Nice lead.
Thank you.
Well, hey, let's invite up our tech director, business builder, Jason Arvidsson. We gotta wait for him.
Sure, yes, you had to wait for that. I know that you know that I'm not a huge fan of Zoom, but it has its place and it has value. And the reason I think that Zoom can be great is you can get people from all over the country to come and talk to you. So if you enjoy watching material on Zoom or need to know a little bit about your business planning for next year, this fantastic event, Tech the Halls, goes on once a year. It's designed to support some of our Keller Williams charities. There'll be some great celebrities there speaking about business tips and strategies this year. And James Shaw will be among them. It will run from 11 to 3 p.m. in the Central Standard Time, and that's on 12/12. You can RSVP right here. You're asking yourself, how much does this cost if I have to sign up? And I will tell you, you have to pay zero. Zero. It's money for charity. You're able to donate, but these guys are getting together and going to talk about all this stuff. And they're really excited to have you turn on your camera and wear an ugly sweater. So if you have no other reason to be there, that's a great way just to show up so you can show off an ugly sweater. Because why wouldn't you? So, Tech the Halls, it's right there. I like that you guys are putting up your phones. We're learning this. Just put them up, and that way I think you're paying attention. Whether you do or not is entirely up to you. But it's a great cause. It's a great event. And if you aren't able to make it in the office, those of you on Zoom who are regularly on Zoom, this is a great resource for you to be able to attend. Look at that. There's more of it. There's an even bigger thing. It's the same thing, but bigger.
bigger picture? Yeah, I like it.
Bigger dinosaur.
Bigger dinosaur. What we got next, Jamie? Right in the toddy. Right in the toddy.
Well, thank you, Jason. That's outstanding. Well, we haven't, so we are absolutely pumped to have Toddy back. So we'll let her enjoy her.
it up.
AVPR dancer right there.
That's me. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome. Okay, that's me. Yeah. Okay, Jamie told me I'm doing this, and I'm not fully versed on what's happening around here because I just got back yesterday. So we're just gonna go with it. This is what's happening in December, and we're gonna go through all of it right now. Mega Agent Mastermind is today at 12:30 in here. You should come. It will be cool. Vision Board Party is tonight with Misha. At what time, Misha?
Huh?
At what time?
Oh, I didn't hear what she said. It's at 4. I was trying to vision board party at 4 upstairs.
Okay. Can anyone come?
Yes, we're
Okay.
having snacks and beverages and fun.
Okay, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have beverages to make it fun.
Yeah. Okay, Photos with Santa is sold out, so apparently that was a big hit. Nice. That's really good.
Every year.
Santa is a sellout. And then Jenny,
Yes.
could you tell us a little about
I'm coming
this
up there.
slide? Sorry.
So we have 36 more VA cards, most of them are for Walmart. We had 75 to start, so we've been doing awesome. I put it on my Facebook and people can Venmo me if you don't have time to go to the store. And if you just want to Venmo me or give me $50, I'll go and do it. I'm going to drop them off next Wednesday after the meeting. So I would like all of it by next Wednesday. I reached out to my lenders, I reached out to my title people, and they have started helping me also and putting it out on Facebook. So we just need 36 more and then we'll help 75 local vets. So please help.
35,
That's awesome.
35 more.
Thank you.
So you fill this out and give it to who?
The front desk.
Fill this out, give it to the front desk, and then get a card. And Jenny's happy.
Back. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Jenny.
Okay, and then we have a town hall on December 11th.
Yeah. So town hall, a week from today, town hall is something we do annually, and it's a very important opportunity for y'all to participate in helping build your 2025. This is a brokerage built by agents for agents, and we are hoping to get all your input. There's gonna be prizes and a lot of good fun to have, but your input is huge. And so we can have the 2025 that we expect to have. One of the thoughts we had is back in the day, memories and relationships. Kirby Puckett used to say, that's all we bring with us at the end of the day are the memories and relationships. So what can we do collectively to help you build and foster more opportunities to build those moments? With that being said, please make sure you time block again over the Christmas season so that you are near and dear and completely there with your loved ones. Thanks.
Yeah, and then we have a happy hour, and I'm sorry, Colin, Grace is still new, so it does say Olivia's house. But it should say Colin's house. And they were hoping that it said too to bring all of your dogs. So that.
Bring all your dogs.
And actually, I don't even know what time that's at.
It's at 3.
3 o'clock, okay.
Yeah.
Like 3 to what?
It
Yes.
just says 3.
3 to.
Three to what?
3 to 6.
3 to whenever Lisa and I.
Oh, boy.
Hey, at least I wasn't alone this time. Usually it's me by myself.
I do need a head count, so I'll put a little something in Facebook or something if you're coming to New RSVP so that I don't know like how much to prepare.
Yes,
Bye and all that.
we can do that.
Cootery queen.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dr.
And then we have business growth workshop with Jason on Thursday, which is tomorrow at 9:30. And you should come to that because you are designing your perfect newsletter in command.
Perfect.
Yep. Then we have Value Unlocked, the series. No.
No, it's great. We had Value Series that Gary put together, and it was amazing. A lot of y'all tuned in and took advantage of that opportunity. And then what this is a deeper dive into each subject of what he had isolated, which are the best practices of the top 400 agents throughout the country. And then we do a deeper dive during this workshop in whichever areas of the marketing, in this particular case, that you want to take the extra time to work on your business and go deeper. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah. And then we have Jingle Mingle. I do know what this is. It's a potluck, and it is on December 18th from 12 to 1 p.m. It's my favorite day of the year at work, so you should come. So if you could put up your phones and scan the QR code to sign up to bring something.
What are we doing for the potluck?
It's appetizers and desserts.
Eating.
Yeah, we're eating.
What are we eating?
Appetizers and desserts.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And it's gonna be really fun, and that's the whole day of holiday spirit. So you can wear your best holiday best,
We're gonna
yes.
have a contest?
Yeah,
All right, Patty's running the contest.
yeah, I'm gonna run the contest. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then there's cookie exchange, that's on the same day. Please bring 6 cookies per person participating. I'm guessing there's a sign up.
I'll leave that.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they'll let you know how many people. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on. And Brian and
There we
Drake.
go, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Brian and Drake, come on up.
Share which one's that.
Okay, we'll start with this. So, then FHFA announced the new conforming loan limits for 2025. You can see 2024 here, so they increased 40,000 for 1 units, that's a big increase. And you can see the other increases here, 50, 60, 70,000 in some of these different tiers. So, big increase for the conforming, and that's the 1 unit is really what we're seeing, most commonly. And then also, FHA announced the new FHA loan limits. And so, this was a pretty decent sized increase too, about 15 grand for our area, and about 20 grand in some other areas like Rice County and LeSueur. So, this is what you'll see for Dakota County and Scott County, kind of Hennepin County, the main areas that you're probably doing business. And then some of the outskirts is gonna be that loan limit there. All right. Now on to recast.
So last team meeting, I talked about NavCash and turning your buyers into a cash buyer, really to make them a non-contingent buyer, which is the key, especially if we're gonna get into multiple offers situations now or maybe this spring even more so. I like to combine that with our recast program, again, to be able to make a non-contingent offer with your buyers. If you're making contingent offers, hey, we gotta sell this house and we wanna buy your house. You're gonna be showing a lot of houses and you're gonna be writing a lot of offers, but you're not gonna be putting a lot of deals together just because it's a contingent offer. So our recast program involves buying the new house first and then putting moving in, staging, doing whatever you need to do to get top dollar for their existing house. Once that home sells, you take those funds, 50 grand, 100 grand more, apply it down onto the new mortgage on the new house, all right? And then, or I should say, then you have to put a minimum of 5% down on the new purchase, all right? So a lot of customers don't necessarily have that, all their money's tied up, but they do need to put 5% down. They also need to be able to, lost my track here. All right, so 5% down means a 95% mortgage. All right, that has mortgage insurance, all right? They need to qualify for both mortgages, the old house and qualify for the new house. A lot of our customers do qualify for both, all right? So now we apply the funds from the sale of the old house. It drastically lowers principal balance. We can then amortize the loan down to the lower principal balance. Payment drops like a rock. And because typically we'll drop below 80% loan to value, the mortgage insurance goes away. So that mortgage insurance is temporary, all right? Just kind of another way for you to be able to make a non-contingent offer for your customers.
They gotta make 1 payment, right?
Yes, they'll make, yes. So if you do sell it right away, they do have to make the first payment before they can apply those funds down on the new house, new mortgage.
If you guys wanna market this product, we have this graphic. We won't have these guys on here, but it'll have your stuff on it.
No
So
burden, Ernie?
just let us know and we'll get you one of those.
Right.
And I think that was it. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You don't know, he's too young to know who they are. Thanks, guys. It's fun to have the jovial relationship with you guys, but you guys were able to have that because you guys are always there for our folks, so thank you so much. Appreciate it. And before we get started here, I want you to stop and think real quick. You know, when I was a realtor, I had to go find panels, and I mean, these people are just right in your, right down the hall. And we're talking 91 years of experience of real estate right here. Isn't that amazing?
It's kind of rude to say it.
I mean, it's not like you were 85 of the years.
I was half.
They don't know this. Yeah. So awesome. Well, let's welcome up Lisa, Maria, Chad, and Krista, please.
I don't know if I've ever sat on these red chairs, I'm worried about sliding off. I know, me too.
So, all right, well, thank you all. You guys recently did something of significance, which is bold. And what fascinates me about this group more than anything is, you know, back in the day, it was always the top players that found extra edges wherever they could to get to that next level. 1% of a trajectory changes everything, right? So, Chad, how many years have you, Chad Skluzacek, how many years have you been to bowl?
10 years biz, 11 or 12 times to bowl.
That's why when, the other day when you were speaking, he was able to rattle all that stuff off without reading it. All of the bold laws, which was amazing.
Drank a lot of Kool-Aid.
Yes. I'll get you a pair of these. Lisa Brainerd, the baby at 8.5 years. How many years have you been to bowl?
It's my second year.
Second year, very nice. Maria's a rookie. Yes.
This was my first bowl experience.
Perfect. And Krista?
I can't remember if it's 14 or 15. I just had Zai to pack up all the plaques.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have room?
Yeah. I'm trying to clean my office.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, first of all, I just want to start off with, you know, what was the biggest difference? So those of you who don't know, Bold was started back in 2009 by Gary Keller. And those of you know, we talk a lot about Gary. Gary became Gary by interviewing as many agents all the time as possible. So what Gary creates is really a creation of all the people that he's come in contact with. It's not Gary just standing up and waving a wand, it's actually coming from everybody. And in 2009, and it was one of the big, if you don't remember, back then, there was a crash in the market. And it was known as one of the opportunities that came around Bold's class that helped Keller Williams go from number 4 in the world to number 1, where they've remained since. They've from that perspective. So, and Gary, like other things, he wrote MREA, and then he's like, okay, the time is shifting, let's write a shift book. Well, he upped his game this year, changed the curriculum for Bold, and we'd love to hear, those of you who've been to both versions, what the difference was. Chad, what's the difference for you, sir?
Getting back to the Kool-Aid, you know, a lot of people would say, I actually just met with a former RE/MAX person the other day, sat down with Bryce and got an opportunity to learn about him and his team. It was an awesome experience. And, you know, from the outside looking in, I think a lot of the old Bold was scripts, and it was talking about a little bit of hoorah and drinking some Kool-Aid is what other people might see it as. I felt like that Kool-Aid actually became part of me rather, so I guess I'm just Kool-Aid now, but I found out that it actually tastes pretty good and it works well. Today it's more about, let's get brass tacks. You could feel Cody, for those of you that know Cody Gibson and Gary Kelly, you could feel their vibe in it. It's like, let's get some business for these people, let's talk about it. However, session 6 of 6 talked about, what was it? Love is, help me out, what session?
Love is the answer.
Love is the answer. I'm like, whoa, 2025, love is the answer. So it's interesting, right? At the end of the day, we all change and metamorphosis into different things. And yeah, it is. And so interestingly enough, my discussion with Bryce yesterday had something to do with that. It's like, love on your people and it just works, right? So that was what I felt the difference. It's concrete, it's good stuff, it's a little less rah-rah, and it's a little more into the heart.
Thank you for that. Lisa?
For me, I think it was less rah-rah, and it was more substance, and it was things that you need to build your business and build yourself. It was a lot of personal growth talks that were in there, which I really liked. Me personally, the Kool-Aid is a funny thing for me because in my past business, that's what it was. The Kool-Aid to me means lift as you climb. And it's just learning and growing all the time. So that's how I always look at it, but I didn't realize that that's not how everybody else outside the world and other businesses in corporate America, it's a gift that we have as entrepreneurs that we have the ability to do that. And a lot of people, they don't know that. So when they call it Kool-Aid, and it's so funny because this is like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I went into an open house. It was a builder, and the agent there used to be Keller Williams, and they were Kohler or something now. And he's like, oh, I think it was like COVID, like near that time. And he's like, how's your business doing? I'm like, I had my best year, And he's like, when he was talking about Keller, he's like, yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid or whatever. He was making it known about that. And then I'm like, yeah, I had my best year. And he's like, well, how did you do that? I said, well, I drank the Kool-Aid. So I love that Kool-Aid.
Well, I don't have anything to compare it to because I wasn't at the previous bowls, but I really took out of that experience that I had for those weeks was really some inner taking a good look inside of how you felt about things, how you approach things. It was a really good reminder to me to take a step back and what, they talk about what you tell yourself is how you project yourself to people. And I think it's easy to get caught in negative talk to yourself and to what's going on in the market and everything else. And the public doesn't want to hear that stuff. They want to hear the good things. And if you want to attract that to you, what expands, what you focus on expands, you stick that out there and it's going to come back to you. It was pretty powerful. There was a couple of moments during there that I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry. Like, we had to do this one where they had a broken bowl, and you were supposed to fill the cracks with things. I had cracks. I put extra cracks in my but I'm like, it felt really good afterwards to kind of, hey, I'm whole. It's okay. We all have our faults. We all have our stuff, but pick up and go. So that was mine.
Awesome.
That's good. I enjoyed that session too, because being through both so many times, it wasn't the conditioning part of having to make 20 phone calls every day and doing so much of that. That can be pretty routine for me. What for me was kind of exploring, why do I go to work every day? And why do I, why am I doing this and what is, and so mine got a little deeper too in some of that kind of thing as to, what you all want to try to do with your career. I'm at a different stage than most people, and most of my table, I had a couple experience, but most of them were one-year agents or that kind of thing. So it was a lot of fun because I love that enthusiasm of new agents, and they kind of excite me to drive me to do more and that kind of thing too. But I loved, there was a lot of new things kind of input there. Of course, I am not the techie person, so I'm working on the social media.
The content calendar things is a struggle for sure, yes.
Trying to get that social media part of it, but I realized I need help because I don't even have time to look at Facebook when people do respond. So, but it's just an overall, it can be so powerful for taking the time, and I always love it this time of year because I know it's been offered at different times a year, but for me, being in coaching for 15 years in the past, it was always business planning time this time of year. And I need to take that slow down time to really focus on what do I want to accomplish next year and what do I want to do. And, you know, for me, it's not all business anymore and that kind of thing. And so I love the net worth tracker and that exercise that we did and that kind of thing too, as to, you know, what else besides, what are you working so hard for every day?
For sure.
So it's good.
Redefining that why.
Wow, so whys, lift as you climb, pick up and go. I love this. So those of you, let's just Chad and Krista, why again and again and again?
Well, for me, it's it's getting me back on track. You know, I was kind of hit and miss and that kind of thing. I have been still since both ended. I'm still making my contacts every day. I'm still, and for me, the best part of it is I cleaned up my database. I had like 1,300 some in there. I got it down to 1,129. I realized that there was like 18 people in my database that have passed away that I haven't taken out of it. I mean, I work with a lot of seniors, so I mean, I've had a few die this winter, and I've gone to a few funerals this year. But it was because when you have just a whole bunch of people, and I took out all the real estate agents that I had. I didn't have a whole lot in there, but I took out the real estate agents in my database, because I found that the more I have, the less I get contact with people. And so I want all top quality people that I will have a conversation with, that I have all their information. Now my next chore is getting it into command, because mine's all in top producer still, so. But, so that was a good cleanup for me. Now for the holidays, I can focus on getting out my holiday card and that kind of thing too. So that's always my this time of year.
Chad, I know you're kind of like, I don't know this year, right?
I always do that, you are right. And this year, I think I actually joined a little quicker, so I gave him a lot of grief last year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So thank you for pushing me over the edge. Real brief, the quote from the previous bold, I didn't hear it in this one, but it still holds true, is every time you enter the river is always changing, and every time I enter the river, I become a different man. I'm a different man entering the river. Something to do with that. So that's why I retain this. It's always fluid, it's always changing. As in, so you just, whether you like it or not, you need to learn. You need to be growing.
That's well said. Thank you. Lisa, what's something? She's like, what is something? This will be for all y'all. What is one thing that you're going to absolutely implement in 2025 that you took away from Bold this year?
I would say that the social media. You have to embrace the suck. What the suck was like, he would tell you, hey, in 5 minutes, you're gonna go make a video. And you're like, oh, yes, you are. and I mean, of course, right away, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I don't wanna do this. This is all going on in my head. And then he's like, no, yes, you are. And then my head comes back and I'm like, you're not doing this for nothing. You're just gonna do it. Just gonna do it. And so then you might have saw the videos we had to make, and I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, look at my shirt. Oh my God, I look fat. And oh my gosh, all this stuff. And I mean, if I would have done it, like, when I do it on my own, I'm gonna make sure that
Don't my shirt's tucked in.
and my shirt's tucked in. And it would probably take me 2 hours to do it, and I got it done in 10 minutes. And then some of those things, you just do it anyway because, you know, they tell you, this is what you look like, so.
Do you get more views if your shirt isn't done well and your hair is all frizzed up, or if it's perfect?
No,
It doesn't.
they like it, and I was laughing, and so I just embraced the suck. And did it dorky, is what I call it, and, yeah, and so some of those social media things that they made us do, I actually got, I don't have a deal done yet, but it's been working since from one of the posts, and it was, it was one of the posts that we did about, I have a buyer looking for this, and the buyer that I had in mind, one of my past clients saw it and said, hey, I got this, you know, rental over here in Mankato, and, you know, so we started talking there, and it turns out, well, she's willing to sell it, and I have an investor in Mankato, so, like, none of that would have happened if he didn't make us do that post. So it's not done yet, but it taught me, just, you have to use those things, because, and the other thing I guess I noticed too, is I'm out and about talking to people, like, there's so many people seeing my stuff that I don't even know they're seeing it. Because I'll run into them, they're like, oh, how was the concert last night? I'm like,
I haven't seen you in a long, how do you know I was at that concert? Oh, yes, right, we're friends. Yes, and so they're watching, you just don't even know.
Videos are such a big thing, because especially when you show up at a client's house or a potential client's house, they don't know you, but if they've seen video, that's one layer of comfortability that you've gotten through. They know what to expect, they know your presence, they know your spirit already, so they're already comfortable with you. That's a big, Pam was talking about that yesterday at the MRA Book Club, which I hope you all attend next week, it's pretty awesome. So thank you for that, Lisa. Maria.
What was my biggest takeaway? What am I
What are you
hoping
gonna
to-
absolutely, 2025, I'm doing this?
Embracing the no one succeeds alone. Relying on you guys to pick me up. It's nice to be surrounded by such incredibly integrity-driven, happy people. I love it. So that's really important for me to kind of embrace that, kind of lean into it. I'm excited about that. Time blocking for me has always been an issue. I have always kind of had an open door policy, and poor Sarah's evidence of that, because she's at the end of the hall down me. My door will come open and I'll lose an hour or 2 hours. Lance will come in and we'll sit and just chat, which I love, because that's who I am. Let's show up. You guys can all show up anytime you want. But if my door is shut and I have something on it, it's because I really am trying to do better at time blocking. I've never been a great prospector. I've never been a great, from 10 to noon, I'm gonna make those phone calls. I'm gonna be much more on purpose for those things. That's my 2025, to be a little more on purpose rather than, whoop, just happen.
I'll hold you to that.
Thank you. Shut that door, Maria.
Watch
No
out.
guess allowed.
Watch out, she will.
That's a deal. No, I'm okay with that.
That's true.
Well, people here, you know, when they hear you speak and they feel your spirit, I think that people on the other end of the phone really appreciate it for the work that you've got that lifts people up. So, and that's really it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if you look back again, relationships, memories, create more memory opportunities by having a business that's growing, and then the relationships are what we bring with us too. And that's all you're doing. You're a professional relationship builder. A plumber without jobs is just plumb. Right? Has to build the pipeline, but anyway. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
You're
stretching that one.
Oh, really bad. But anyway, all right, coming back.
Wow.
So, all right, Krista, one thing you're absolutely, I'm doing this.
I'm really focusing on that top 20% of my database that I just need to love on them, and that's where my business, almost 100% of my business is coming from, and so I'm putting a calendar together right now on what I'm gonna do each month with that. I've already got them on the sensation postcards and that kind of thing, but it's being more intentional in making the 38 contacts a year or more. In fact, this morning, I'm on James Shaw every morning at 6:30, and this morning they talked about 100 contacts. We were kind of putting round tables, and 100 contacts, 100 different ideas of ways to contact your clients. And our group came up with 156 or something different ways to contact our clients over the year and that kind of thing. So it was really good.
I'm gonna, 13 of the 38 new bowl laws I've highlighted, and I'm gonna pick one that's not on my list. Number one, I'm gonna line up a damn dominoes.
Oh.
And not only am I gonna line them up, I'm not gonna yank one out and sabotage it. So I'm gonna leave them all in sequential order, and I'm gonna tip that 1 incher over, and by number 67, it's gonna hit the moon. And I'm not pulling out a damn domino, let's just go. So get into action, just go.
What dominoes would you, stay within the story, what dominoes typically are your biggest problem that makes you, would you say? Just curious, I know it's off on the spot here.
Short answer, you dig deep and you ask yourself, peel back 3 layers of that onion to answer that question. That's a deeper question. However, traditionally, I self-sabotage. It's like, okay, I'm gonna throttle back. And I don't even know I'm doing it, right? So then I stop hiring, or I stop leveraging, or okay, I'm gonna shift so much energy over here because that's comfortable, and I'm gonna shift a ton of energy over here. Just stay sequential, stay consistent. And just get the 1-incher done, that's it. And then tomorrow I'll get the 2-incher, and then the next day I'll get the 4-incher, and then the 8-incher. And then if you could just do that consistently, and then don't pull that 16-incher out of it, leave it in there. It's okay. It's gonna tip, it's gonna fall, it's gonna knock the 32, and before you know it, good things are gonna happen, and believe in that. So, yeah, you just gotta keep those dominoes in there. And just be okay tipping the small ones, and don't pull that next one out. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, it does, and I think you hit on it in mindset, right?
Totally,
So that's why whenever you go to any big event or where you go to a success strategy opportunity, I always start with mindset. Even here, it was happiness is a choice is step one.
Yeah.
Because, the environment you're in, your mind, has a huge role in every decision you make moving forward.
You've got these limiting beliefs from childhood or whatever, and that say, I'm just, I can't do that, I can't do that. I just had a discussion with my coach the other day, it's like, I still do it. It's like, as good as I think I'm getting, I'm still doing it, so I have to figure that out. So that word, those 2 words in the back of the room, think bigger, is the largest law or largest saying in this whole room, and there's a reason for it, right? Continue to dream, continue to think, continue to believe, continue to do, and just knock over that damn domino, and watch the rest follow.
And I think also the action removes your fear.
Right,
So
totally.
the way you keep moving forward kind of takes that fear out of it.
100%. 100%. Make the calls, right?
Yeah, make the damn calls.
Call the damn lead.
Yeah.
All the damn leads.
What page is that?
41.
Page 41 in the MREA book club.
Well, and speaking of leads like that, I also realized, I have no problem calling strangers and doing like 20 contacts and that kind of thing. Where I struggle on is following up, because 70% of your appointments come from lead follow-up. And so I gotta get better at people that I've had, that have kind of off the cuff mentioned something, that kind of thing. I have a whole list of those that I need to follow up with this month before the first of the year.
Thanks. Thanks, Krista. One of the things on here, one of the steps was, life is not fair, and you fail your way to success. What does that mean to you guys?
Truth. My dad's told me that since I was a little kid. Life's not fair, get used to it. So just get at it, and if you fail, do it again.
I'll give you something.
Try it a different way. I got that one too.
Anyone have any questions or anything you want to ask the group?
Quick statement.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not,
Please do.
I wasn't asked to solicit my recommendation to you to take bold, and I'm gonna just do it. The river is good fluid. You don't have to like the flavor, you don't have to like the speed, you don't have to like the depth, you don't have to like it, you just have to acknowledge it. It's not fair, it's whatever, it is what it is, and embrace the suck, pull it in, love it, and be fluid with it, and get in the damn river, people. So take bold next year, take the damn class, guys. You don't have to like it, but you do have to take it.
Bold 101 is that it is held once a week for a certain number of hours and occasionally in every region, right? So would someone maybe give the summary of what bold is? Krista?
What bold is?
Yes.
We have some visitors who maybe have never heard of it.
I think from somebody new, because I know with the new agents that I was exposed to, it's like drinking from a fire hose, because there's so many good ideas and so much and that kind of thing, that I think really I always thought it was based for, it was a conditioning program. So it's to get you in the habit of doing the most important thing every day, time blocking, setting appointments, doing your lead gen, and however people choose to do that, that's their choice and that kind of thing. But by doing it week after week for 8 weeks and that kind of thing, a lot of times people have created a habit, if they've embraced it and they do their homework assignments and that kind of thing, and making those 20 contacts. And then if they challenge you if you want to do the 100 in a day, that kind of thing. And I always, when I take it in the fall, I can always use I love Veterans Day too. So I have 83 veterans in my database that I contact every Veterans Day. So it's a fairly easy way for me to get that 100 in, and they're grateful as can be and that kind of thing. So there's just, and this time of year is always good to be able to do big contacts if you want to try to contact a lot of people, just because there's a lot of things during Thanksgiving.
I would say bold is, like, if you look at all those laws on the wall, it applies to you personally and applies to your business, and so it just helps you dive into that. The teacher's important, so Hudson was awesome because he'll call you on your shit. But he does it in a fun way, and then, and makes you then hold yourself accountable. So depending on your personality type, that might work better for you, which it did for me. And what I really like about it is, one of the things that they said is, what I am not changing, I'm choosing.
Yes.
And so that's, embrace the stuff, you have to do it. And the first year I took it, it was so overwhelming. There's so much good stuff, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. A confused mind doesn't buy, so you do nothing. So this year I went into it, and I'm like, I had one goal. My goal was to follow love with lead gen. And on the rest of it, I had a lot of other nuggets that came in, like the social media stuff was kind of fun, and that's another way of lead gen. And so I learned that lead gen is fun, and I don't have to I will never do that. Those call sheet, that's not me. I will go to a bar and I will meet people, I will join networking groups, like I'm a face-to-face, that's just me, and I learned that's okay.
And do events and that kind of thing, that's a lot of fun.
And I see a friend that I haven't seen, in 10 years, and, we just talked she's the one that saw me on Facebook. I didn't realize we were Facebook friends. They want to sell their house next year, so we're having coffee. It's just like, so that's just kind of what you learn, but just, that's what I wanted to do. So next year when I take it, it'll be something else, because I'll be ready for the next step or the next thing to change.
If I heard correctly, they challenged you or required you to do something different in social media that you hadn't done before. Can you think of any big ahas of anybody else in your group or you personally took from that?
For me, it was get out of your comfort zone. I'm so paranoid. Like, I'm so paranoid being up in front of here and, but the video is just do it. And the amount of response back from people were like, oh, like, they were all great with it. So you just gotta do it. It's not comfortable, but I think the more you do it, you will be more comfortable with it. Coming up with content, they did send out, and it was overwhelming again, but months of every single day content that you could post on it.
I got a copy.
And you could just open that up and pull out something to do something on it if you were stuck for an idea. There's no reason to be stuck. You just gotta keep moving forward.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm asking for a friend,
Steve, there's a million ideas that you haven't even thought of,
Yeah.
that Hudson will share with you, that'll take you 60 seconds or less, and you will instantly get business. I just boosted on some handyman, I'm looking for a handyman, that was one of our posts.
Yep.
I had a ton of conversations, and I'm helping other people, and it came back and it helped me. So now I've got connections, it's just a simple thing, right, but it wasn't good, so. Get help to give you ideas, or find somebody that will give you ideas. We have instances.
Sometimes some of the best posts are just asking a question and getting different people's opinions.
Polling.
Yeah.
Kind of yes or no.
Yeah.
Cat or dog.
One of mine that I did, I just sat there, the video was from the side, and I was just sitting there drinking coffee. I didn't say a word, and then my caption was, what do you think I think about the current market? And I got like 128 different things, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you don't have to talk.
One of mine, I just viewed the room too, and look how many people are here, and then I had mentioned what our production for the whole group was and everything and that kind of thing, and so.
And I think one thing to take out of Bold too is you are kind of put in a group, a team. I think that team is important, so you need to hold each other accountable. Our group, we did a morning text every morning, and if you didn't respond, everybody kind of got on them about it. So that to me felt like we were all much more productive, because we were not only holding each other accountable, but then we had to be accountable to the entire group there. So I think that was important to do.
Any other ahas?
One small thing, the word Masogi, look it up. It was the first thing in the first session they talked about, do something that scares the shit out of you, and do it now. Once a year, do something that scares the living crap out of you. And it is awesome. It is so cool. I don't even know, MYS.
And I have a comment on that. Go suck at something new. Best learning is through your failure.
That's true. You fail forward.
MYS.
I think the other thing that I took away that I've done sometimes, but not a lot, but we had to during Bold was we had a journal every night. And I really enjoyed, I didn't do paragraphs, sometimes it was 3 sentences, sometimes it was, 5. I mean, I didn't write a journal, but I just, one side was, what did you do well? And then the other side was,
What did you learn?
What did you learn? And what I learned about the whole thing was, when you do that before you go to bed, you rest your mind and you go to a gratitude place. Even if something was a little rough, you still found something good. And you just fell asleep better. The energy was better. So that was something, then if I don't have the book next to my bed, it doesn't get done. So I noticed a couple, I'm like, oh wait, I gotta get that back. So then I'll take a minute or two before I go to bed and do that. And it's very helpful. Yeah.
I think the other thing that I really got was when we had to do the start-stop exercise, and it was what are the things that in your personal and your business life, what do you need to start doing? And then on the second column was, what do you need to stop doing? And
Sometimes the stop's more important.
sometimes. But so that was good, and we had to look at that a couple different weeks as to how we were achieving that and that kind of thing.
Nice. Anyone else want to ask anything? One of the things I think I keep hearing, and it's important, we actually talked about it yesterday in the MRA Book Club, is as long as you do those things consistently, you win, right? We love to be creative, E2P, we love to be creative, but then we wind up just spinning around like a top, going everywhere, creating new things, and then we look up, oh no, it's a week before I gotta get my cards up, whatever it might be. Put the systems in place, this is what I'm gonna do my social media, get it going, and then let the creativity flow. And it sounds like that's a big thing that they're helping you implement too. Is that correct?
Exciting.
Okay. Anything else, anybody?
Do we know when Bold might be in 2025?
We have to find our regional director.
Yeah, actually, this whole panel reminded me that I was supposed to send an email to Tara Allen before I left on vacation, and I forgot. She wants to come teach it in February in Minnesota.
Cool.
And for those of you that don't know Tara Allen, she was the Rookie of the Year, 10, 12 years ago when she started. Is that about right, Chad?
Yep.
$375,000 in gross commission income her first year as a realtor, and now she's got a small team over in Sioux Falls. And you want to talk about somebody that won't let you have public accountability? I mean, it is her. She was on me before vacation, and she actually texted me on her second to last day vacation. So I created a fake autoresponder, and it was a work question. I said, I'm sorry, this is an autoresponder. I am not going to respond because my friend Tara Allen said, I can't respond on vacation. So I will send an email to Tara and all the TLs in Minnesota because it's up to the team leaders as if they're going to launch it or not. Having just had 210 people graduate from it, if we can get 150 or 200 people again in February, launches the second week in February, and then there's a break, for the day that week. But yeah, she'll do it if we can get the people.
I think Hudson Warren said that he would not want to do 220 again. It was a little bit too big.
Well, they've never done more than 125 in a year,
Yeah.
so to do 210.
It was a little tough. It took, when you're reporting numbers, it took a long time.
Yeah.
He's good though. He was
Yes.
ID to the extreme.
Cool.
Well, really appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
It's just, again, we're always reminded how authentic and genuine and caring and generous people here are, right? Here's all my secrets, here's what I'm gonna do. I think there's no secret in the fact, and I was reminded this morning when I had my quiet scripture time, was that falling in love with the process, not just the destination. You know, when you lose loved ones, you think the destination, right? But there's a falling in love with the process along the way. And that's what Bold does help you with and helps them with. how do I get re-engaged daily with the process, the love of loving on a lot of people, so you get more opportunities to create more memories and relationships. So, and we're honored to help you do that in any way possible, so please come to the town hall next week. And then, of course, over to Colin's house. Afterwards, we might have to call in the Canadian Mounties with the way that some of those parties go. But really want your input so that your 2025 can really help you love the process and love on more people and let us love on you. Thank you. Please stick around for Mega Agents, and thank you, Tasha Wells, for the amazing layout in the kitchen with the cereal. Go check it out. Thank you all. Love ya. How many board years? I was gonna ask you. Oh.
In like 30 minutes, I saw that you got that, filled out.
It's been more than that.
What's your holiday schedule like?
So if you keep going.
We'll get it.